Melanie Perkins was an ordinary student in Perth, Australia, when a simple question changed the course of her life. Why is graphic design so complicated? While working on her university yearbook, she noticed that many of her classmates struggled to create professional-looking layouts. Design software was expensive, complicated, and often intimidating for people without formal training. Melanie saw a gap, an opportunity to democratize creativity. At just 19, Perkins co-founded Fusion Books, a web-based platform that allowed students to create and print their yearbooks online. The product was intuitive, user-friendly, and removed many of the barriers that traditional design software imposed. The early success of Fusion Books demonstrated that Melanie had not only a good idea but also the ability to identify a real-world problem and create a simple, elegant solution. Yet, Perkins' vision extended far beyond yearbooks. She imagined a world where anyone, students, small business owners, teachers, and hobbyists, could create professional-quality graphics with ease. The core idea was simplicity: remove complexity, keep design tools accessible, and put creativity in everyone's hands. In 2007, Melanie Perkins, together with co-founder Cliff Albrecht, began pitching this broader concept. The journey was challenging. Investors were skeptical, particularly in Australia, where the tech startup ecosystem was smaller and less receptive to bold, software-driven ideas. Many questioned whether a web-based design platform could scale globally. Despite early rejections, Perkins remained determined. She traveled to Silicon Valley, armed with prototypes and a vision, meeting with investors who could turn Canva from a local project into a global phenomenon. Her pitch emphasized a simple but powerful idea: design should not be limited to professionals. It should be accessible, intuitive, and collaborative. The early prototypes combined drag-and-drop functionality with templates and pre-designed elements, allowing users to create graphics without ever touching complicated software. This approach was revolutionary. It empowered people who had previously been intimidated by traditional design tools. The idea was elegant, simple, and scalable, a perfect recipe for disruption. By focusing on accessibility, Perkins tapped into a fundamental shift in technology: the democratization of professional tools. Just as smartphones and cloud computing were putting powerful capabilities into the hands of millions, Canva would put design power into the hands of anyone with an internet connection. The early years were not without challenges. Building the platform required finding talented engineers, graphic designers, and marketers willing to work in a small Australian startup rather than the more established tech hubs abroad. Financing was a constant struggle. Investors wanted evidence that Canva could appeal to a massive global audience, not just students or local businesses. Yet Melanie Perkins' vision persisted. She believed that great design was not a privilege, but a skill that anyone could exercise if given the right tools. Her insistence on simplicity, scalability, and user-friendliness became the guiding principles for what would eventually become Canva, a platform that today serves millions of users worldwide. This is the story of how a young Australian student turned a simple, practical idea into a global design powerhouse, reshaping the way people create, share, and experience visual content. It is a story of vision, persistence, and the belief that technology should empower, not intimidate. After the modest success of Fusion Books, Melanie Perkins knew that her vision could extend far beyond school yearbooks. She wanted to create a platform that could empower anyone to design anything: posters, social media graphics, presentations, and more. But turning this idea into a reality would prove far more difficult than she anticipated. The first challenge was funding. Investors in Australia were hesitant to back a web-based design platform led by a young woman with minimal business experience. Many questioned whether people would pay for such a tool, doubting that design software could be simplified without sacrificing professional quality. Perkins and co-founder Cliff Albrecht faced a barrage of rejections, sometimes meeting potential investors who dismissed their ideas outright. Undeterred, Melanie continued to refine the concept. She and Cliff developed prototypes of a drag-and-drop interface that combined pre-made templates, stock images, and fonts. The goal was to create a platform that was intuitive, scalable, and visually appealing, allowing users with no prior design experience to produce professional results. In 2009, Perkins took a leap of faith and flew to Silicon Valley, the global hub of tech startups. The trip was both inspiring and humbling. She pitched her idea to investors who had seen thousands of startups, only to be met with skepticism. Some dismissed Canva as too niche, while others questioned whether a design platform could compete with entrenched software giants like Adobe. Perkins' perseverance, however, began to pay off. She met investors who recognized the potential of democratizing design and understood the global opportunity. The idea that anyone could become a designer, without expensive software or formal training, resonated with a few visionary backers. This support provided the first crucial funding needed to transition from a prototype to a fully fledged platform. The early product development phase was intense. Perkins insisted on user-first design, constantly testing the interface with people outside the tech and design worlds. Feedback was invaluable. Users wanted simplicity, speed, and clarity. They didn't want overwhelming menus or technical jargon. They wanted to drag, drop, and create. One of the key insights during this phase was that Canva had to be collaborative. Businesses, schools, and teams needed to work together on projects in real time, making it more than just a personal tool. It had to become a platform for collective creativity. This collaborative feature would later become a cornerstone of Canva's success. By 2012, Melanie Perkins and her team officially launched Canva in a beta format. The reception was promising but modest. Users appreciated the ease of use, but global traction would take time. The team faced competition from other design software and free online tools, and they had to continuously innovate to stand out. The early years of Canva were defined by tenacity and learning from failure. Servers crashed under growing demand, templates needed refinement, and some features didn't resonate with users. Yet Perkins viewed these challenges as opportunities for improvement. Her philosophy was clear: iterate relentlessly, listen to users, and make design simple for everyone. By focusing on accessibility, usability, and collaboration, Perkins planted the seeds for what would become a global design revolution. Canva was no longer just a project. It was a movement aimed at empowering millions of people to express themselves visually, regardless of background or experience. By 2013, Canva had gained traction among early users, but Melanie Perkins knew that the platform could only reach its full potential with significant investment and a global strategy. The challenge was convincing investors that a small Australian startup could compete on a worldwide stage against entrenched design software companies like Adobe and CorelDRAW. Perkins and co-founder Cliff Albrecht embarked on a mission to secure venture capital. Their pitch was clear and compelling. Canva wasn't just software, it was a democratization of design. With a user-friendly interface, thousands of templates, and collaborative features, Canva could transform the way people created visual content, from students and teachers to marketers and entrepreneurs. Despite the clarity of their vision, the road was far from easy. Early meetings with investors often ended in polite rejections. Many doubted the scalability of a design platform originating in Perth, a city far from the traditional hubs of tech innovation like Silicon Valley or London. Some questioned whether users would adopt a freemium model, paying for premium features once free alternatives existed. Perkins' persistence eventually paid off. She met a group of forward-thinking investors who understood the global opportunity and were willing to take a risk on a female-led startup from Australia. The first round of significant funding provided the resources needed to hire engineers, expand the design library, and invest in marketing. This capital allowed Canva to improve performance, scalability, and feature richness, setting the stage for global expansion. With investments secured, Canva focused on internationalization. The platform was localized into multiple languages, making it accessible to non-English speaking markets. Marketing campaigns highlighted Canva's simplicity, creative freedom, and collaborative power, appealing to both individual users and organizations. Perkins believed that design was universal, and her strategy reflected this. Creativity shouldn't be restricted by geography, language, or financial resources. Another crucial aspect of scaling globally was forming strategic partnerships. Canva collaborated with stock photo libraries, font foundries, and template designers to expand its content library. These partnerships ensured that users had access to high-quality design elements while maintaining the platform's core promise, ease of use and professional results. During this period, Perkins emphasized the importance of team culture and mission alignment. Canva's employees weren't just building software, they were creating a movement to make design accessible to everyone. This shared purpose fostered innovation, creativity, and loyalty within the team, allowing them to tackle ambitious projects and maintain a user-first approach despite rapid growth. By 2015, Canva had crossed over 1 million users and continued to expand aggressively into international markets. The company also began targeting professional and enterprise users, offering premium subscriptions with additional features, analytics, and collaboration tools. This diversified revenue model allowed Canva to sustain growth while staying true to its mission of democratizing design. Melanie Perkins' ability to combine vision, persistence, and strategic thinking was key to this stage of Canva's development. She navigated investor skepticism, logistical challenges, and cultural barriers to build a platform with global appeal. Her focus on simplicity, accessibility, and collaboration became the blueprint for Canva's worldwide success. By the end of this period, Canva was no longer just a promising Australian startup. It was emerging as a global platform poised to change how people create visual content across industries, educational institutions, and personal projects alike. As Canva expanded globally, Melanie Perkins understood that the platform's success depended on more than just accessibility. It had to redefine what it meant to design. Traditional software had long dominated the market with complex menus, layers, and steep learning curves. Canva's goal was not simply to compete, it was to reimagine the entire user experience. Perkins and her team focused on 3 pillars: simplicity, flexibility, and collaboration. Every interface decision was scrutinized to ensure that even a first-time user could create something visually striking within minutes. Templates were designed for immediate usability, yet they were flexible enough to allow for customization, so users could express their unique style without being overwhelmed by technical complexity. A key innovation was Canva's drag-and-drop interface. Users could select elements from a vast library of images, icons, fonts, and shapes and position them precisely on their canvas with a single motion. This intuitive interaction removed the intimidation factor that had long kept non-designers from engaging with graphic tools. The team conducted countless user tests, iterating constantly based on real-world feedback to ensure that every new feature enhanced usability rather than complicating it. Another significant shift was the focus on collaboration. Perkins recognized that design rarely happens in isolation. Businesses, schools, and social groups often needed multiple people to contribute to a project simultaneously. Canva's real-time collaboration features allowed users to share designs, leave comments, and co-create content seamlessly, effectively turning the platform into a digital workspace for creativity. This approach bridged the gap between individual empowerment and team productivity. The platform also democratized access to high-quality content. Stock photos, illustrations, and fonts, once available only to professionals or through expensive licenses, were now integrated directly into Canva. Users could combine these assets to produce polished results without the need for external tools or subscriptions. This not only saved time and money but also expanded the creative possibilities for every user. Perkins' vision extended to educational impact as well. Canva offered tools specifically for schools and universities, enabling students to create projects, presentations, and digital portfolios with professional standards. Teachers could guide students while allowing them to experiment, fostering creativity from an early age. In this way, Canva positioned itself as both a productivity tool and an educational platform, cultivating a generation of confident creators. The redesign of the user experience was also iterative. Perkins emphasized a data-driven approach, analyzing how users interacted with templates, tools, and workflows. Insights from usage patterns directly informed product improvements, ensuring that the platform evolved in line with user needs. Features like easy resizing of designs, social media-specific templates, and intuitive typography adjustments emerged from these observations. By continuously refining the user experience, Canva not only made design accessible but also engaging and enjoyable. Users no longer saw design as a technical hurdle, they saw it as a creative opportunity. This mindset shift contributed significantly to Canva's rapid adoption and global expansion. Ultimately, Melanie Perkins' focus on redefining the design experience reflected her core philosophy. Technology should empower, not intimidate. It should simplify, not complicate. It should enable creativity for everyone, everywhere. This commitment to user-centered design became the foundation for Canva's enduring success and brand identity. As Canva gained global recognition, Melanie Perkins knew that the platform's long-term success would depend on the people behind it. Building a world-class product required a team of talented engineers, designers, marketers, and strategists who shared her vision to make design accessible to everyone. But attracting and retaining such talent was no easy feat, especially for a startup based in Perth, far from the major tech hubs of Silicon Valley, London, or Berlin. Perkins focused on mission alignment from the outset. Every hire was evaluated not just for skill but also for their belief in Canva's purpose. The company culture emphasized creativity, collaboration, and a willingness to challenge the status quo. Employees were encouraged to take initiative, experiment, and learn from failure, a mindset Melanie herself had embodied since the Fusion Books days. To foster innovation, Canva embraced a flat organizational structure, minimizing hierarchy and enabling open communication. Team members could propose new features, suggest design improvements, or provide insights directly to leadership without bureaucratic barriers. This approach ensured that the platform evolved organically, driven by ideas from every corner of the company rather than solely from executives. Diversity and inclusion were also key components of Canva's culture. Perkins recognized that a global platform needed global perspectives. Hiring people from different countries, backgrounds, and disciplines brought fresh ideas, making the product more adaptable to varied user needs. This commitment to diversity extended to gender, ethnicity, and educational background, creating a workplace where creativity thrived. Perkins also emphasized the importance of employee well-being and balance. Canva offered flexible working arrangements, wellness programs, and opportunities for personal development. By investing in the growth and satisfaction of its workforce, the company cultivated loyalty and long-term commitment, which proved crucial as Canva scaled rapidly. Leadership within Canva modeled transparent communication. Perkins regularly shared company goals, performance metrics, and strategic updates with the entire team. This transparency not only built trust but also fostered a sense of shared purpose. Every employee understood how their contributions impacted the platform and its users worldwide. Another distinguishing feature of Canva's culture was its user-first mindset. Engineers, designers, and marketers were constantly reminded that their work was in service of empowering users. Decisions about features, templates, or interface changes were guided by the principle: how will this help people create better, faster, and more enjoyable designs? This philosophy ensured that Canva remained intuitive and accessible even as it grew in complexity and scale. Perkins also invested in mentorship and talent development within the company. Senior team members guided junior employees, sharing expertise and encouraging continuous learning. This created an environment where knowledge was circulated freely, fostering a culture of growth that extended beyond immediate job responsibilities. By combining a strong mission, collaborative structure, diversity, transparency, and user-focused innovation, Melanie Perkins cultivated a company culture that mirrored her vision for Canva itself: empowering, intuitive, and ambitious. The team's shared dedication became the engine driving Canva's global success, enabling the platform to scale while remaining aligned with its founding principles. Ultimately, Canva's culture was not just a supporting element, it was a strategic asset, one that Melanie Perkins carefully nurtured to ensure that the company could innovate consistently, maintain quality, and remain true to its mission even as it expanded around the world. By the mid-2010s, Canva had evolved from a small Australian startup into a platform with global ambitions. Melanie Perkins recognized that while early adoption in Australia had been promising, the real impact and opportunity lay in reaching users worldwide. The mission was simple yet ambitious: make design accessible to everyone, regardless of geography, language, or technical skill. Expanding globally required strategic planning across multiple fronts. First, localization became a priority. Canva's interface and templates were translated into numerous languages, enabling users in non-English speaking countries to engage with the platform fully. The company also adapted content to reflect regional cultural nuances, ensuring that designs felt relevant and authentic to diverse audiences. Next came infrastructure scaling. Serving millions of users across continents meant addressing server load, latency, and data security. Perkins invested heavily in cloud-based infrastructure and robust engineering teams to ensure that Canva could deliver a smooth, reliable experience for users everywhere. Downtime or slow performance was not an option for a platform growing at such an unprecedented pace. Marketing and outreach played an equally crucial role. Canva leveraged social media, influencer partnerships, and educational campaigns to raise awareness of the platform. Tutorials, webinars, and online communities helped new users discover Canva and learn how to harness its tools effectively. By combining organic growth with targeted campaigns, Canva built a network of enthusiastic users who became advocates and evangelists for the platform. A pivotal moment in Canva's global expansion was the adoption of freemium and premium models. While the core platform remained free, Canva introduced premium subscriptions offering advanced features, larger content libraries, and enhanced collaboration tools. This approach balanced accessibility with sustainable growth, enabling users at all levels to benefit from Canva while generating revenue to fuel further innovation. Canva's global adoption was also fueled by enterprise partnerships. Businesses, nonprofits, and educational institutions around the world recognized the value of empowering employees, students, and teams to produce professional quality designs without hiring specialized staff. These partnerships helped Canva scale rapidly while reinforcing its mission to democratize design at every level. Another factor in Canva's success was continuous innovation. The platform didn't stop at templates and drag-and-drop design. Features like real-time collaboration, brand kits, animation, and integrations with social media platforms expanded Canva's utility. Users could now create presentations, social media posts, infographics, and videos, all within the same ecosystem. This versatility made Canva indispensable for individuals, teams, and organizations alike. Melanie Perkins' leadership during this phase emphasized user empowerment and accessibility. Global users came from varied backgrounds, from small business owners in Southeast Asia to teachers in South America, and Canva had to meet a wide range of needs without overwhelming its interface. By listening closely to user feedback, Perkins ensured that every new feature added real value, staying true to the platform's original vision. By the late 2010s, Canva had reached millions of users worldwide, a testament to Perkins' foresight, strategic thinking, and relentless focus on simplicity. The platform was no longer a niche tool for students or hobbyists. It had become a global standard for digital design, transforming how people create and communicate visually. Ultimately, Canva's global expansion reflected Melanie Perkins' belief that creativity should know no boundaries. By making design accessible, intuitive, and collaborative, she empowered people everywhere to bring their ideas to life, proving that innovation could transform not only software but also the very act of creation itself. As Canva's user base expanded globally, Melanie Perkins recognized that the platform's potential extended beyond being a simple design tool. To truly transform how people created and shared visual content, Canva had to evolve into an ecosystem, a comprehensive platform where creativity, collaboration, and productivity could converge seamlessly. The first step was integrating third-party content and tools. Canva partnered with stock photo libraries, illustration platforms, video repositories, and font foundries to provide users with a rich library of assets. This move allowed users to access professional-grade materials directly within the platform, eliminating the need for multiple software subscriptions or complex licensing agreements. The result was a one-stop creative hub that simplified the design process. Next came application integrations. Perkins understood that users wanted Canva to fit naturally into their workflows rather than remain a standalone tool. Integrations with social media platforms, cloud storage services, and communication apps meant users could create, share, and collaborate without switching between multiple tools. Canva became not just a design platform, but a central hub for creative productivity. Another significant development was the launch of Canva for Teams, which extended the platform's collaborative features. Organizations could now manage brand assets, assign roles, and oversee workflow in a shared environment. This enterprise-level functionality transformed Canva into a tool suitable for both individuals and professional organizations, reinforcing its versatility and global appeal. Canva also focused on educational partnerships, building specialized offerings for schools, universities, and nonprofits. Teachers could design engaging lesson plans, students could produce professional-looking projects, and institutions could standardize branding while allowing individual creativity. Perkins' vision was clear: creativity should empower, educate, and connect communities. A critical component of the ecosystem was Canva Marketplace, a platform where independent designers could sell templates, graphics, and other creative assets. This feature not only enriched Canva's content library but also created opportunities for creators to monetize their work, positioning Canva as a platform that benefits both users and contributors. The rise of the Canva ecosystem was supported by continuous feature expansion. Animation, video editing, presentation tools, and brand management functionalities were gradually added, making Canva a comprehensive solution for almost any visual communication need. This expansion reflected Perkins' belief that design should be holistic, allowing users to produce complete creative projects from a single platform. Importantly, the ecosystem was designed to remain intuitive and user-friendly. Despite the addition of sophisticated tools and integrations, Canva maintained its drag-and-drop simplicity, ensuring that the platform remained accessible to beginners while powerful enough for professionals. Balancing sophistication with usability became a hallmark of Canva's design philosophy. By fostering an interconnected ecosystem, Melanie Perkins transformed Canva from a single product platform into a creative universe. Users could access tools, assets, collaboration, and education, all in one place, turning Canva into a daily part of personal, professional, and academic life worldwide. The rise of the Canva ecosystem demonstrated Perkins' vision of creativity without barriers. By creating a platform that connected people, tools, and content in meaningful ways, she not only empowered individuals to design but also built a sustainable ecosystem that fueled innovation, learning, and global collaboration. By the late 2010s, Canva had firmly established itself as a global platform, but Melanie Perkins understood that to maintain momentum, substantial funding and strategic growth were essential. Scaling an ambitious tech company required investment, not just to expand infrastructure and hire talent, but to continue innovating in ways that would keep Canva ahead of competitors. Perkins and co-founder Cliff Albrecht embarked on successive funding rounds, attracting venture capital from prominent investors worldwide. Their pitch was compelling. Canva was more than a design tool, it was a platform for democratizing creativity, with millions of engaged users and a growing ecosystem of tools, assets, and enterprise solutions. Investors recognized the potential of a software platform that combined accessibility with high retention and scalable monetization. The funding success allowed Canva to accelerate feature development and global expansion. Perkins prioritized hiring top engineering, design, and product talent, building a team capable of supporting millions of users across continents. Servers, cloud infrastructure, and user support systems were upgraded to ensure a seamless experience even under heavy demand. As funding rounds progressed, Canva's valuation skyrocketed. The company achieved unicorn status relatively quickly, entering the billion-dollar startup club. Subsequent investments pushed Canva into the multi-billion-dollar range, attracting attention not only from tech media but also from international markets and enterprise clients. Investors were betting on the combination of user growth, platform versatility, and Perkins' visionary leadership. Melanie Perkins' approach to funding was strategic rather than purely financial. She resisted pressure to compromise Canva's mission or focus on short-term revenue. Instead, every funding decision reinforced the company's long-term vision: accessible, collaborative, and intuitive design for users everywhere. By prioritizing mission alignment over purely financial incentives, Perkins ensured that investors shared the same commitment to Canva's core principles. During this period, Canva also expanded its enterprise offerings, targeting businesses with tools for brand management, team collaboration, and content production. Enterprise clients provided a significant revenue stream while further validating the platform's utility in professional contexts. Funding enabled Perkins to scale these offerings without sacrificing the platform's user-friendly design for individual creators. Global media began recognizing Canva's impact. Perkins appeared in tech publications, interviews, and panels, emphasizing empowerment through technology and the importance of creativity as a universal skill. The narrative was clear: Canva was not just a startup, it was a movement reshaping the way millions of people create, communicate, and collaborate visually. By 2020, Canva's valuation exceeded several $billion, cementing its status as one of the most valuable private tech companies in the world. Yet Perkins remained focused on the mission rather than the metrics. She continued to prioritize innovation, user experience, and global reach, understanding that sustainable growth required maintaining trust, simplicity, and accessibility. The success in funding and valuation was a testament not only to Canva's product but to Perkins' vision, leadership, and persistence. She had transformed a small idea born from a yearbook project into a global platform with a thriving ecosystem, millions of users, and substantial financial backing. This phase marked the maturation of Canva, from a promising startup to a global tech powerhouse poised to define the future of design. As Canva grew into a global design platform, Melanie Perkins faced a new set of challenges. Success brought visibility, but it also attracted competitors, market scrutiny, and heightened user expectations. Maintaining Canva's position required strategic thinking, innovation, and an unwavering focus on the platform's mission. One of the primary challenges was competition from established software companies. Giants like Adobe had dominated the design industry for decades, and many assumed that a simple, user-friendly platform could not threaten their market share. However, Canva's accessibility, collaborative features, and freemium model appealed to a broader audience, from students and small business owners to enterprises, enabling the platform to carve out a unique niche. Emerging competitors also posed a threat. New startups sought to replicate Canva's success, offering simplified design tools or niche templates. Perkins responded not by copying, but by innovating continuously, adding new features, expanding the content library, enhancing collaboration, and integrating with global workflows. Canva's strategy was to stay ahead through product excellence and ecosystem depth. Scalability and infrastructure were another significant challenge. Serving millions of users simultaneously demanded robust systems, real-time updates, and secure data management. Perkins invested heavily in engineering and cloud infrastructure to ensure that performance, reliability, and security remained uncompromised, even as user numbers grew exponentially. User retention also became a critical focus. With rapid growth, it was essential to keep long-term users engaged while onboarding new ones. Canva achieved this through data-driven insights, personalized experiences, and educational resources. Tutorials, webinars, and community forums help users improve skills, discover new features, and feel part of a vibrant creative community. International expansion presented additional hurdles. Canva had to navigate regional regulations, payment systems, and cultural differences. Localizing content and interfaces required not just translation but also cultural adaptation, ensuring that templates and design assets resonated with users from diverse backgrounds. Perkins emphasized that global accessibility was a core component of the company's mission, not merely a business strategy. Maintaining Canva's culture and mission amid rapid growth was equally challenging. As teams expanded across continents, Perkins focused on aligning all employees with the company's vision, emphasizing creativity, user empowerment, and collaboration. Internal communication, shared goals, and a clear sense of purpose ensured that the company culture scaled alongside the platform. Another ongoing concern was monetization without compromising accessibility. Canva had to balance revenue generation with its core promise: free, easy-to-use design tools for everyone. Freemium models, premium subscriptions, and enterprise offerings were carefully structured to maintain this balance, ensuring that Canva remained inclusive while financially sustainable. Perkins also navigated external scrutiny from investors, media, and the public. As Canva became a unicorn and a global powerhouse, every decision, product feature, expansion strategy, or corporate policy was subject to analysis. Perkins' leadership style, transparent, mission-driven, and user-focused, helped the company maintain credibility and trust. Through these challenges, Canva's competitive edge rested on innovation, user-centric design, and ecosystem development. Perkins consistently anticipated trends, listened to feedback, and iterated quickly, ensuring that the platform not only survived but thrived amid competition and rapid change. By 2022, Canva had proven that a small idea from Australia could disrupt a global industry. The company faced challenges daily, but Melanie Perkins' vision and leadership ensured that Canva stayed true to its mission, empowering millions of users worldwide to create professional, high-quality designs with ease and confidence. Melanie Perkins' journey from a small Australian startup founder to the leader of a global design platform is a story of vision, perseverance, and empowerment. What began as a simple idea, a yearbook design tool for students, grew into Canva, a platform that has transformed the way millions of people create and communicate visually. Canva's success is a testament to Perkins' focus on simplicity and accessibility. She understood that design should not be confined to professionals or those with technical expertise. By prioritizing an intuitive user interface, drag-and-drop functionality, and a rich library of templates and assets, she democratized creative expression, allowing anyone, anywhere, to bring ideas to life. Equally important was her commitment to collaboration and community. Canva became more than a tool; it became a platform where teams, students, educators, and businesses could work together in real time, share ideas, and learn from one another. This emphasis on connection and empowerment created a loyal user base that contributed to the platform's explosive growth and global reach. Perkins' leadership and company culture also played a critical role. By fostering a mission-driven, inclusive, and innovative environment, she built a team capable of tackling complex technical challenges while staying aligned with the company's core purpose. Her ability to attract and retain talent ensured that Canva could scale without losing the essence of what made it special. Financially, Canva's journey reflects the balance between vision and sustainability. Strategic funding rounds, freemium models, and enterprise offerings allowed the company to grow while remaining accessible. Perkins' insistence on mission alignment with investors and partners ensured that financial success never came at the expense of user experience or inclusivity. Canva's global expansion further cemented its role as a transformative platform. From students in Australia to small business owners in Southeast Asia and corporations worldwide, Canva enabled creative expression across cultures and continents. The platform's ability to adapt, localize, and integrate with diverse workflows exemplifies Perkins' foresight in understanding global user needs. Beyond the platform itself, Canva has influenced the broader design industry. By lowering barriers to entry and empowering non-professionals, it has reshaped expectations around usability, collaboration, and creativity. It has inspired competitors and newcomers alike to consider the user experience as a critical driver of innovation. Melanie Perkins' story also serves as a model of entrepreneurial perseverance. She faced repeated rejections from investors, skeptics who doubted the simplicity of her approach, and challenges in scaling infrastructure globally. Yet, her unwavering focus on solving real problems for users, combined with strategic thinking and bold leadership, allowed Canva to rise to a position of global influence. The legacy of Canva and Melanie Perkins is therefore multidimensional. It is about democratizing design, fostering global creativity, building a sustainable and ethical company, and proving that a simple idea, executed with vision and persistence, can reshape industries and empower millions of people. In the end, Canva is more than software. It is a testament to the belief that creativity should have no limits, and that technology, when guided by purpose, can unlock human potential on a massive scale. Melanie Perkins transformed not only the way people design, but also the way they think about creativity itself, leaving a lasting imprint on the digital world and inspiring future generations of innovators.